What's up guys, the Strong Boys 19 here. This is going to be a video about my own thoughts on 2025. I was thinking about doing this video since a few weeks back, and then I was originally going to be doing the video in the next few weeks during the Christmas season, but I thought now is pretty much the right time because what I'm very happy to say in this one is there's been a lot of positivity, and it has been a big self-reflective one for me personally and mentally. I've mentioned this before, that I took the video down where I shared both the positives and the unfortunate negative moments about 2024. I took it down because the negativity parts sometimes had been coming back into my head, that I was thinking and saying to myself, why would I need to revisit that video? Why do I need to look back on what happened from the past? Because, not gonna lie guys, it has been very reflective about me by how far I have been doing my absolute best all the time to adapt and grow as a person. But the more I thought about myself during 2025, there's a lot for me to take in. There will be some things I've already shared previously on a video or a live stream, but I thought I would like to share them in the full detail right now. 2025 has been a year when everything moved way too fast during these close to 12 months. It is actually so crazy. It made me think about the time that we shared, not only by ourselves, but to people around us, that we looked at the time to the dates that have gone by now, that every single thing throughout 2025 just happened without thinking about it. The time moves so quick that we just find it so hard to think to ourselves, this and that moment happened, and it has been so fast that they happen in such an instant amount of time. 2025 has been a really, really big improvement on myself, mentally as well as productively. The main positive things were that I have been productive on my originality, on my metal stuff. I've been inspired so consistently by the sound of a song, band, and or album that I was creating these different ideas, these ideas that have been like demo, rough stages of songs, and there's a lot of that enthusiasm. I've mentioned before that I wanted to continue and adapt as a musician. I have been gigging once again, being really, optimistic. It has been accepted that the occasional gigging was something for the better for me, because as much as that I love doing these gigs to entertain people, now that I'm still in hard graft with the best lineup that I'm so grateful and fortunate to be around with my bestest, dearest friends, to play music in front of an audience, occasional gigs had been, the better approach, because obviously we have our own lives and we decide to do what's best for us. But in terms of me outside of the band, the originality has been really active. I've been making more than 5 songs. There were inspirations from the likes of, in terms of songs, a lot of these songs for now have been Deftones inspired, to multiple riffs that sound quite like Fear Factory, to Strapping Young Lad. So I was so pleased to know that I have grown so much by this point where I really wanted to try this out. I wanted to focus on that, but to still focus on myself being a gigging guitarist in the Hardgraft established covers band part of my career as a musician. The hardest part about the original side is the finding of musicians. I completely understand and had fully expected that it was not going to be easy. I'm still all on my own by myself making these songs, but it's the moment of finding the musicians who are as dedicated and, not just fortunate, but who are as interested to find a group of people who are, so passionate about music and to go into this new potential chapter in their lives and, see where it's going to take me and them. So that has been quite a struggle, but I didn't let my creativity down. I didn't stop everything. I was just, invested by what I wanted to make, not only just for myself, but to, have people be interested by what I've been creating so far, and to, have a chance to, be in an originals band. Another thing that happened for a lot of the positivity in myself was the mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation has been the thing that I eventually did think about, that was that type of meditation I decided to do. I know that I've brought up meditation more than a few times, more than enough actually, but besides some days where I was not really energetic and was unfortunately procrastinating and sometimes burnt out by some of these moments where I just never had a lot of energy, to some feelings that I really wanted to pick myself up, I listened to ambient guitar music from Devin Townsend's Dream Piece YouTube channel. I've been listening to these less than half an hour short videos, to then listening to compositions of Pond Skimmer and my favourite, which is Snow Day. And whenever I decide to listen to any of his ambient guitar pieces, I will be lying down, closely shutting my eyes, and drift off to almost go to sleep by hearing such beautiful and mesmerizing, shimmering ambience. It's just gorgeous. The meditation has been a very big helpful tool for me. I call it a tool because that is a tool that will definitely be making me feel like I'm in a better headspace. And I would say that meditation is a moment of choice that has changed my life for the better. And besides the other things that make me better, like with meditation, I was feeling great in myself in not just music making and writing, but to lose weight. Not just to lose weight for the sake of it, but it made me realize the more I would be going on the treadmill to lift my feet on the rotating stairwell machine at the gym, but to then be inspired so massively by doing these 40-minute workout videos on my walking with these different poses and stretches. The fitness ideas have been an improvement for my mental health as well. So, in a way, I owe a lot for myself to think that I deserve a good pat on the back for me. And while there were just not as much of the obstacles and negative parts like what happened from last year, but 2025's progression for me personally has been enjoyable, then to be, such an uplifting and joyful personality. I feel like that 2025 as well has been my most positive year. Pretty much since the last 3 years. 2022 was me at my best. 2023 had a lot of great stuff, but there were challenges here and there, and same goes with the aforementioned previous year. But this year alone, even though everything was just happening out of the blue instantly without time slowing down, I owe a lot of this time to have the privilege and the experience that what I have been doing for me in my life to this point, I could not have been happier than this. In terms of my lack of consistent video making from this channel, I looked back from the videos. There were not a lot of album reviews, and there were suddenly these active tribute videos. And by the way, thank you guys so much for your heartfelt support and dedication to share your condolences to these musicians who we've lost. But the most viewed video in a long time from any tribute video that I've done in ages was the tribute to Manny from the Stone Roses. Nearly 1,500 views. And I don't do those videos for views. I do these videos because these musicians mean a lot to me. But I was amazed by the amount of attraction and your interest to watch these videos and share your comments. It was meaningful to me because I know that there are still loads of amazing people who decide to take some of their time in their lives to share their own heartfelt and inspired comments about musicians who mean a lot to you and me and anyone else. 2025 is also the worst roller coaster of emotions for musicians who have passed away. Obviously, Ozzy Osbourne was the worst one for many. That was almost the one where it's the worst for me. But I was just shocked that it happened 17 days later after he did his final gig with Black Sabbath and as a solo artist with his musicians. The Back to the Beginning concert was such a triumphant hurrah to celebrate heavy metal, and we are still celebrating heavy metal. The worst one that got to me and made me cry the hardest was the passing of Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys. As much as I love Ozzy, Brian's life sadly had been, in different ways, the worst years that he was going through, some of those destructive and most upsetting times in his life, more than Ozzy. But Ozzy's life was such a hectic lifestyle. But he went out on a high. With Brian Wilson, that one hurt me the most because he would have been making such a triumphant to gradually improve on himself, and he always did his best, but his mental health declined so heavily. And that was such a tragic tale. And we've lost loads of the other giants like Sly Stone to Jack DeJohnette and John Lodge, and anyone who means a lot to us. But in terms of myself, from both the inside and outside, I was thinking about myself for the better, because while I did share a lot of these random philosophical quotes, I took these to heart and to keep them for myself, that what's truthful stays powerful. There's enough of the bullshit, there's enough of the negativity about how others have been wrongly treated because of this or that opinion, and with the state of what's been going on, from toxicity of news to our mental health, it has been a challenging ride. But even if you have been facing some of the worst times, do not feel hesitant to share what you feel about yourselves throughout 2025. Please share your comments down below, because I would like to know what you guys have been going into from any time from your own journey. 2025's progression for me personally was a really worth it one, because I have enjoyed so much of what I continued to do, and besides, everything's pretty much the same, from me learning guitar and playing, collecting records, doing the usual videos, but the heart of me is growing stronger, and I will accept that besides these negative things that did affect me mentally, at the same time they are moments to embrace and accept, because there's no perfect life, because obviously human beings are facing everything in front of them, from the left to the right and to the center. Challenges needed to happen in order to adapt and to mature ourselves, to fully grow and to do our very best. In terms of this channel, I do apologize so hard that I have not been doing many of these videos like I used to, because there were moments when I wasn't making a video that I would start procrastinating, which obviously is not the right thing to feel in that way. It's unhealthy, but there were moments where I do feel really quite bad in myself that I didn't make videos I wanted to around this or that date. There was this mindset that sometimes will be coming up in the head of mine, to think I should be making a video today, I should do that video tomorrow, and then I just don't do them. However, with the realization about one of the New Year resolutions before this year arrived for us, was for me to think about myself, and I didn't think about that for some time until pretty much the last few months. Real life comes first, and as much as I do adore everything that makes me happy because of my music and my hobbies and my workouts and meditations, and to take extra care for myself on the self-care days and to think about myself, I don't really need to be so consistently aggressive with myself to just make videos to please people. What makes me happier than ever was the amount of people who have stayed with me to be subscribers and to understand what I wanted to say, and I owe you guys a lot of that love, so thank you very much for that, because I have accepted this choice now where I don't really need to think about myself to make videos just to please people, because it's not only just by choice for you guys, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to watch. It was a release from, I guess, this world's weight of me that's been pushing me down to just think about making videos a lot, just to keep myself going as a YouTuber, when in reality it's not been like that for more than a few years actually. As YouTube video making for me does take quite a lot of time to get everything ready. Like, I've been using my laptop's notepad to type notes about a band's album with song after song after song descriptions, and with the informations about the songs to background information about an album's era, or even a top 10 list. I don't need to push myself to be in this forced way of thinking to make a video just to make yourselves happy that I've uploaded a new video. So I finally accepted the thought that whenever I want to make a video, I will just be in the right positive mindset. I will be in the inspired way of thinking to make a video whenever I want to. So that I guess frame of anxiety went away pretty quickly, because that was one of the things I wanted to do about myself, where I wanted to be well enough in order to keep myself sane and to always enjoy the things I love to do. I'm still deciding to make my Pink Floyd Wish You Were Here video. I am going to be reviewing more albums to get these discographies completed. That is a goal for this channel. But there will be still some moments where I will not be making a video and upload them in like a week or a few weeks or maybe a month after the last video. But I completely admire your understanding of what I decided to do in the end. Guitar content, I know I've brought that up quite a lot already, but I want 2026 to be the year that I wanted to start doing those videos. And there is that thinking now if I should post them on this channel or create another channel. I still have not fully decided yet of what I wanted to do for these upcoming videos. Besides the self-care moments, I was thinking about me as a YouTuber for some time as well. I've been on YouTube for 16 and a half years, and by the 14th of March 2026, this channel will be 17 years old. I was having these thoughts in my head where am I thinking to myself, do I decide to stop making videos because I'm nearly 31, for fuck's sake. I will be 31 in a week tomorrow. And I've started this YouTube channel when I was 14. But then I realised I still love to watch my favourite YouTubers who are older than me, and I know age does not matter. But since I've mentioned about guitar content, because it shows me being even more productive than me to just be an album reviewer and basically a YouTuber being enthusiastic and to be, a talkative person about music, I think I have made the right call that YouTube is really the platform for me where if anyone is interested in me to watch these upcoming videos of me as a musician, then there's just no point of me deciding to think to myself, I want to call it a day for good. I know real life is important, and in the future, times will be changing for the inevitable worst times. And there will be a moment where I have to say that I would call it a day. But at this time, I don't see that thought to be instantly there. I don't want to leave YouTube because of where I'm at right now. Of course, there will be a moment where I think to myself, it has been a fun ride, but I will be moving forward to do something else. However, YouTube has been pretty much the huge part of my life, even with its ups and downs, from how far YouTube had changed, sometimes drastically, as a website, pretty much since it began, even before I started making this YouTube channel. But nevertheless, I do want to make videos again, and I will do my best to be, progressing for these upcoming videos. I will just have to agree to myself that I am fortunate to have the people who have been inspired because of what I always love to talk about and share. And I said this same amount of, sentence about, how far I've become as a YouTuber, and to know that you guys mean a lot, and you still do. But it has gone to this moment in time where I am really, really positive and as engaged to think about being in the present still, to be enjoying what I love to share. So in a way, I don't really need to shut down this channel, or not shut down, but to just stop everything and wrap it up in a surprising way. But I still owe YouTube, you guys, and the videos that have been inspirational a lot for me to keep going at it with the passion that has been the most important part of my life, which is music, and as well as to believe that I can still do what I can to have everything fall into place. And with that being said, guys, that is all I would like to say on that. I'm so surprised I've been rambling for this very long amount of time. But I wanted to say it because I thought, why would I want to do this at a later date before 2026 will be arriving for us to experience? I just hope that 2026 will be, hopefully, this continuation for this same frame of mind, the same mood, the amount of productivity. But all in all, I feel grateful to know how far that I've grown and still want to continue to grow as a person, as much as you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys will be celebrating in a usual warm, cozy way for Christmas, and let's hope that 2026 will be a significant change for the better for you if 25 wasn't the year for you. Well, I wish you guys the very best. I will keep you guys posted for more videos in the near future.